Hi, this is Philip Byrne for PhoneScoop.com, and here I'm looking at the Pantech Jest. And the Pantech Jest is a cute little messaging phone available now for Verizon Wireless. It's one of these common squat messaging phones that I'm seeing a lot of recently. It's got a full QWERTY keyboard. I thought the keyboard was a little cramped for my taste. I don't have the largest hands, but it still felt a bit small. I was pecking with the tips of my thumbs here. But otherwise, I did like the size and the feel of the keys. It's just the keyboard itself was a bit too narrow for me. So the Pantech Jest has sort of an odd array of buttons here on the face. You have two touch-sensitive buttons right below the screen. You get these hardware buttons and shortcuts. And in the center here is actually an optical button. So you can press it. You can also sort of swipe against it. You see, I'm not actually clicking. I'm just sort of swiping my finger. Now, I found this wasn't very sensitive in my tests, so I would swipe and sometimes nothing would happen. Sometimes it worked perfectly fine, but sometimes it was just a bit frustrating to use. And after a few days of testing this phone, I really got tired of that optical button there in the center. Now the phone is surprisingly customizable for a quick messaging device, so you can customize swipes for shortcuts on the idle screen. And you can go even farther and add a separate shortcut menu where you can customize any one of these. When you look at the main menu screen here, you can customize a few of these icons as well and swap out. About half of these are customizable, so you can swap out Bing, you can swap out SocialBeat, which is the social networking application on this phone. And there are a surprising number of options. Unfortunately, that just didn't help to save this device. The phone just didn't deliver when it came to messaging. So, as you can see, I get an incoming message and it looks like your standard text message, but that's not even the real messaging interface. If you look here, there's actually a nice threaded messaging interface, but for some reason, the phone doesn't give it to you every time. You have to sort of go in and select it. Pictures don't show up here like they do on smarter phones. And I had trouble with the email and the social networking apps too. I had a lot of trouble getting the phone to recognize my password. For some reason, the password field wouldn't recognize function or shift keys, so unless I switched to a very simple all lowercase letter password, I wasn't able to get the social networking apps to work. And that's a big disappointment on this device because with its simple design and its full QWERTY keyboard, I was really expecting something that would make messaging easy, that would provide a few social networking options for me, and that's just not what I found. Now, one interesting thing I did find is this social networking menu. You see Facebook, MySpace, Twitter. These are actually SMS and MMS shortcuts, so you're actually sending a text message to Facebook here, and it'll post it to your Facebook page. This is not actually an app itself. It's just sending the message so that when you type here for what's on your mind, you can see there's a 160 character limit, just like you're typing an SMS message, a text message, because that's exactly what you're doing. And honestly, that's kind of clever because that'll save you fees for data costs. You won't need an expensive data plan. You could just go with an unlimited plan. But that's not really special to this phone. Any phone can really accomplish that. Any phone that can send text messages can send text messages to Facebook, MySpace, Twitter. So that's not really special to the Pantech Jest. And everything else on the Pantech Jest was just okay or kind of disappointing. Here's the camera. It's a very lousy 2 megapixel camera. Takes tiny little videos that are incredibly low quality. There's also a music player on the device. And it's your standard Vcast music player. Now the phone only uses 1x networking. That's Verizon's slower networking standard. So you're not going to get the full Vcast music store here. But you can still play your tunes if you can manage to find a 2.5mm headphone set, because your standard headphones aren't going to work with this device. So in all, I left the Jest kind of disappointed. I was expecting more in the way of messaging. I didn't really care too much about the bonus features like the music, The web browser was kind of slow. VZ Navigator at least worked well, but really I just wanted solid messaging, some good social networking features, something to really take advantage of the keyboard without making me pay for an extra data plan. And in that case, the Pantech Jest just couldn't deliver. For PhoneScoop.com, this is Philip Byrne.